This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Ostrowitko. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and this map in its 1.0 release is currently available for all platforms. This is another Polish map. We have had a bevy of those getting released in Farm Sim 19 for sure. And as one who, well, seems to be a little affectionate towards them, I have to say this map is a looker for sure. Has some pretty interesting views and custom lighting, to say the least. This map is not seasons prepared. That doesn't mean that you can't run seasons with the map. It simply means that there is no seasons mask included. So if you do run seasons and you have snow in the wintertime, snow may appear under roof. Also, it means that your hay and straw will not rot left outside or on the field. Depending on how you play, that might be an advantage. It says, welcome to Ostrowitko. This is a Polish map for Farming Simulator 19. The map is modeled on the area of a place I can't pronounce in Poland. This map has 3 placeable farms, 60 fields, forestry, 5 selling points, and, well, let's jump on into the map and take a look around. So we are loading this map up in new farmer mode. We'll talk a little bit about what happens if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch. Load it on in here. Log up. And there we are. Oops. So one of the first things you're going to notice here is the house icon. That is your sleep trigger. If you have a sleep trigger, it is a bit removed from the farm. You have a little sleep trigger here in this little small house. Now, what I would like to have seen is like these doors to have opened. It is just a decorative building, but you can see custom lighting we have here. Really, I hope it comes through in the video, but the custom lighting really looks nice. All right, let's take a look at PDA. I'd say the PDA is pretty nice looking also, but with the exception of this up here. We're going to talk about what this is and what this is here in a bit. Let's toggle to something where all that's turned off. So, a really nice looking PDA, as you saw probably from the title slide. This is kind of an interesting way of doing some stuff. We'll talk about that here in a moment. What's going on there? Take a look at the lands area. We start out by owning our start farm, Gunfield 14, 2, and 9. And interesting enough, our farmhouse is not on owned land. In fact, click on here. See, it's on basically the outside part of the map, which includes sell points and biogas plant for $0. You want to own the biogas plant? Go right ahead. Costs you nothing. Nothing to buy it. Now, do note, if you buy it, do right now, okay, you're going to want to sell it for whatever reason. You want to sell this later. Can't because of the placeable sleep trigger. You have to sell the placeable sleep trigger if you want to sell the outside area and the typical unbuyables, sell points, at a later date. We also have some other farms here on the map. We have a cow farm, $86,000. We have our farm here. Also, this bit of land up here, field 10 and a house, a couple sheds. Another farm right here, with 36 and 35, a pond, some buildings. Forestry, lots of forestry. We have the big forest up on top of the hill here, $1.1 million. You have some other smaller plots, forestry scattered around. Like this one's $128,000, $149,000. Sawmill and everything around it is $200,000. You can see here we have all of the standard crops available in Farm Sim 19. We have one main sell point for our crops, grain elevator. We have additional sell points for our wool and cotton at the spinnery. No sell points for eggs. No sell point for milk. But we have a dairy farm. Now that it's putting piece A to B together, why do we not have a sell point for milk? We have a dairy farm on the map. Even a custom dairy farm. So, I guess you're going to be running beefers. You're not going to be selling milk unless you put down your own placeable. So, that seems to be an oversight to me. We do have sugarcane on the map. We have wood chips. We have, of course, the barn. If we don't buy the biogas plant for free, we have the barn for hay, straw, grass, and silage selling. Our third icon is missing. Look at that. We have two. Where's the third? Interesting. Interesting for sure. We do have the ability to sell pellets at the barn. So this is hay. This is straw. Can't sell grass. Period. Been removed from the map. I mean, grass obviously exists. Listing in the prices screen is gone. Take a look here at the equipment. Start out with a small bit of equipment and no animals. Do have contracts available on the map. Let's take a look at our starting equipment. Start out with the Fendt favorite 511C Case Magnum CVX 115. Tractors range in horsepower from 115 to 145 horsepower. We have the Bison Super D056 Harvester. Been rather popular as starting equipment as of late. Got the Z056H header. Correspond with that. To the HW80 grain trailer, Palmer L300 cultivator, T830 seeder. Have the Deltas 1303 MTA3 fertilized sprayer. And we have the custom cow pasture I talked about. Where is the ability to sell milk? Custom bunker silo. And then we have a bevy of placeable buildings in our garage and the farmhouse. Go to placeables and sell custom pig area, but we can't buy it back. Okay, now start this map on Farm Manager or start from scratch. Cow area is still there, still in your shop. You can sell it. I think is pretty nice. Can't buy it back, which I don't think is so good, but I like that you can sell it because maybe you want this to be an arable farm and you don't want all of this wasted with a cow area because you can't sell milk. I'd harp on that for a little bit. Well, you can sell it and have all that area back. Do whatever you want with it. Like maybe put down a sheep area instead, because we can sell wool, even though we don't have any sheep on the map. Can't sell milk, even though we do have milk or cows on the map. Okay. So, as far as other placeables, we do have a placeable grain silo, a small bunker silo, and then we have the sheds and put down. We do start on Farm Manager or start from scratch. The sheds are gone. Okay, so the placed sheds are gone. The sleep trigger is still there. sell the sleep trigger, put it down wherever we want. And interesting enough, the farm equipment is still there. Just kind of take a stroll over here to the farm. Still just admiring the custom lighting, the shadows. Harvester. This shed is missing. All these sheds are missing if you load it up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, but the equipment is here. Tractors. What do you all think of this lighting? I kind of like it. I kind of like this lighting where we have kind of the deeper shadows. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of custom lighting we have here on the map? I did not notice this lighting when we loaded it up with Seasons, because Seasons trumps map lighting. Its lighting was taking over, but look at that. I think we just have much more stark sun shadows. That pretty much is the starting farm, everybody. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. This field here is one of the fields we own. Then we go up there to the forestry area. So what we're going to do is we're going to get set up for the fly around. We're going to fly around the map, take a look at it from an aerial level. We're going to go back to the shop, get our Mahindra, and drive. As we can see already, lots of rolling hills here on the map. Lots of terrain changes. But higher, we have then the lake visible, and we have that bit off in the distance that is black on the PDA. This area up here, being off in the distance. That is because that has been set up as real farmland. Got real buildings out there, real roads, really well set up. When I was doing a precursory fly around, I was able to fly over there, and it didn't make any sense to me. Why is this blacked out on the PDA? Well, it's blacked out because I was flying over there, and the map collision boundaries, not that high, but it's in essence outside the playable area. We are up against the map boundary now. I can't go any further. So that is really well set up, in my opinion. Look, we've got windmill over there. Now, if I go up higher, I can go over the map wall. And I can come over here. But this is legit. I mean, we've got real trees here, real foliage. See the map, additional field info is popping up. It says it's owned by us because we bought all of the outside area. These are real fields. So if we didn't own them, okay, they would be owned by AI farmers. AI farmers would plant these, work the fields, the crops rotate as the AI planters work them. Now, I don't like the fact that now that we own it, because we bought the biogas plant, all this crop is just going to wither and die and never do anything. It's going to look dead over here. It would be nice if this was not buyable land by anybody. Same with this big field here. There's a big field over here. We now own it, but when we get over here to the sawmill, you're going to see this big field, and it's going to give you a sense of depth, the sense of, the map continues on. It's not like this, where the map just ends and we have low-res textures. So it's like a living map border, map boundary, but since we can own it, it's not going to change the way I think the author intends you to be able to see it change. We're not going to see these fields change as the AI farmer harvests them, plants them, etc. Now we own it if we buy biogas plant. Back over here to the playable area. This is one of those farms that I mentioned that you could buy. Got a lot of farm buildings here. Here we have the sawmill. Again, we have that big field that would be owned by an AI player if we didn't own the biogas or didn't buy the biogas plant and everything else. Now that we own it, it's just kind of dead field. We're not going to be able to work it because there's a collision wall here. Can't get over there. The map collision wall preventing us from getting over there. That collision wall continues, and basically it's going to prevent us from going any further. At some point on this road, right about here, going to stop us. Can't. You know, if you put this map in GE and you got rid of this collision wall, there's a whole new part of the map over there you could explore and play. Same with this giant field. Fly on over here and just kind of continue to check out things, but look at how the land just undulates, ebbs and flows with the fields. We have trees, you know, this line of trees and rocks, I suspect, separating up field 54. Here we have the dairy farm, or should I say just the cattle farm. Can't sell milk. Yet we have a milk trigger. Hello? Not really sure what the deal with this area is. It's part of that owned by everybody. You buy it for free land. Then most of the action is up here over the hill. We have the shop right here, although we're missing a shop trigger on the PDA. Come back to that. Our animal dealer, cotton and wool sell point, as well as our bale sell point. Then we have the biogas plant up here. Big, massive forested area. Visually, the map is stunning. Looks great. Really like it. I think the map is falling apart on some levels of its execution. Thought process on... Look at this. Coming under here to this residential area. Got people just strolling around. Custom lighting. You know, all are great high points of the map. Map feels like it falls apart to me play-wise when we have a cow farm on the map that is custom and we don't have a milk sell point. Go on in here to the shop, get our Mahindra, and we'll experience the map from the ground level. So we might also get a liquid fertilizer. Fuel point. Large customized cell and repair trigger. Vehicle spawn point. So since we're up here, let's go ahead and check out the animal dealer, all the other stuff on the top of the map. Here we have the wool and cotton sell point. We have our barn sell point. And we have the animal dealer. And since we have that animal, we have the one animal buy point, or the animal pasture area. Searching for the right word. We can only buy cows here, but I'm sure if we put down others, or we got rid of the cow area, we'll be able to buy all the animals. In our biogas plant, we do have a bulk lime trigger right here. We have our digester for our silage sales, and then our digestate right under here. And two fairly wide but short silage bunkers. Trigger 1. And trigger number 2. Slow on the gate. Looks really well. She's a looker. When she talks, a little annoying. You ever have a woman like that? I don't know what this map is. A little disappointing, right? Just a little disappointing. Like, oh man. You don't want to do cows. Follow this road on around. Come down to our grain elevator. I think we could probably spend double the amount of time in this video just driving around and checking out the forest. Grain elevator down there. Hideaway pond. Back that road. You can see the gate. Got so dark down here with these trees. We have our dump station for our grain sell point. Then we come over, and this area doesn't make any sense to me. And it's part of that not owned land. It's part of the big bulk land buy area. if it was a placeable area. What's up with the water? Maybe it's like a construction area and they've got low water's collected in some low areas, maybe. But then why is it part of the big bulk viable area? Again, part of the big bulk viable land. I'm going to see if these doors open. They look like they might open because we could see into them. Just kind of an abandoned house and yard. There's the dairy farm, or the cattle farm. I probably shouldn't call it dairy, huh? Here's the farm that we start at. Lane. Our farmhouse. This lane. Another bulk lime silo over here. I believe this is one of the viable farms. Map description calls it a placeable farm. $127,000. This area has a nice little water trigger, probably. Sheds. Sell the sleep trigger and put it down here. Want to use this as your farm area. Here, we don't want to go. We're not going to go back into the forest direction. Double back when we get down here to this roundabout. This field right here to our left is also one of the owned lands at the start. Then this whole area to our left is viable, including this little house, bit of a yard there, but not really a lot of stuff. Not really like you can put a placeable down or anything. And again, like we talked about earlier in the video, all that over there on the other side of the lake, if we don't own it, is set up to be run by AI farmers. So the fields would cycle throughout the year, or throughout the time that if you're playing without seasons, just every few days as farmers harvest and work their crops. But if you buy the biogas plant, then you also own that. Then means, well, the AI farmers, they don't work it anymore. It becomes dead. Loaded up with seasons, it's all unplanted. This big field over here to our left, same scenario. running right along the map collision. Got this huge field that is technically a part of the map, and if we didn't buy that big free area, it would be owned by an AI player. They would work the land. Off further in the distance, we've got the buildings over there, windmills, really nice. Gives the map a really good sense of depth. Just wish those fields weren't viable by us. They could continue to be owned and operated by the AI. So here we have our wood chip trigger. And then we have our log sell point activation. Nice decorative here at the roundabout. The road off there just goes off to a map boundary. Really liking the lay of the land. I want to be keenly hearkening the same few points, but really I think map really falls apart in just a few small areas. Those areas really are key. One, with gameplay, with this cattle farm, and two, visually, execution with the ability to buy those outside the bounds AI farms, AI fields. Here we have the water trigger for our cows. We have the milk trigger if we could sell milk. Manure. And we have our cow buy deliver trigger. Let's check. Makes milk. I would hope it made milk because we have a milk trigger. Can't sell it unless we put our own milk sell point down. Back. We have our slurry point. And we have our modded silage pit. And then inside the building is where we're going to have our food, straw, triggers. Really well executed on just about everything else. Again, if you wanted to, you could sell that. Sell the cow pasture here, 50 cows in that cow pasture. Then put your own building down here. You know, carve this up into a field or put a sheep area in. We can sell wool. There you go, guys. That is Ostrowitko. I think I said that right. Available over the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. They are one in the same. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the map? Is it a big deal that we can't sell the milk that we can produce? Or is it a big deal that we could buy the non-playable farms that are outside the map boundary? Get the intent of the map author. I think a little lacking in the execution. Till next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.